Right, so good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. As you all know, it is No Shave November, so I am going at it hard, and I think we're starting to full in. Anyway, I know that some people were set back in time, or the time difference, and I don't know the crap all that is organized. I just know that some people now, they get the video later because of the time difference. So tonight I tried it earlier to see if that helps them out. So no music, no nothing, just talk, right? Today, this morning, I had to go. Of all the first things I had to do today, one of the first things I had to do today was to go to B-Mobile and pay my phone bill, because B-Mobile cut my phone Diwali morning. No scene. Your boy have a Digicel phone, and I have two bandit phone, a B-Mobile bandit phone, and a Digicel bandit phone, paying two bandits so that I could have a phone. Like I have 3 bandit internet connections, so I could have an internet connection. It's a mad-ass country. Nickel and dime theft. So I in B-Mobile this morning. And I gone, like everybody else, you cut my phone, but I need the service, I come to pay my bill. No problem at all. So the gentleman, second in line, but actually, first in line, second into the store. The woman who was in front of me, she went straight to the counter. She had something else that she thought she had to deal with. She ended up back in the same line with me, but I'll give you more about that shortly. So, I'm sharing the video while we speak, because I need to get past Faris and Stuart Young and them and the illegal blocks on our social media. All kind of bullshit going on. You don't believe me? Check it and see. The night we had the flood, everybody was distracted. We get 18,000 views on the video. But anyway, so I'm in the line, right? And the gentleman pulls up my bill. And he tells me my bill is $1,475. I said, friend, my bill can't be more than $350, because you himself told me that is the value of my plan, unlimited, $350. So we signed over for $350 3 months ago. It used to be $550, and they said it's now $350 sign over. And then the next month I went, the bill was $900, and I asked him, how could it go up to $900 when you took the account down from $550 to $350? He said, well, in the first month they have a transition and it's billed you twice or some bullshit. I pay that bill. So I know that my bill is current because B-Mobile cuts me like clockwork. So I don't see it a day in B-Mobile to pay my bill. And so he tells me my bill is $1,400 and something. And I say, that is impossible. What is that? What is going on with my bill? So he opens up my account and he says, well, there seems to have been a mistake that B-Mobile has been charging you, not the plan, they've been charging you by the call. Each call you make, no plan, B-Mobile just charge you by the call. So I have to raise a ticket for that. Also, some of the special calls that you made have a special charge. I say special calls like what? He said your overseas calls and calls to your voicemail and stuff. I said, well, first off, print out the overseas calls, because I don't make no overseas calls on this phone. Secondly, my voicemail not even set up. If you call my phone and it ring out and you get an opportunity to leave a voicemail, don't. I have no way to access it. I've never set up the actual voicemail. So those two things were wrong. But coming back to the first thing, that B-Mobile was charging me by the call. So he said, all of these things, pay your bill, $350, pay the $350, and I will raise a ticket on all of these things, and we will get it resolved. I said, no problem. How long does that take? He said, well, when I raise the ticket, them in head office will address it, and we'll get back to you. I said, but my phone is cut. When does my phone service get restored? He said, when they resolve the tickets. I said, well, I'm going to wait right here till they resolve the tickets. He said, it doesn't work so. I can't raise your issue until I clear the line. I said, what do you mean clear the line? He said, everybody behind you, there are now people behind me listening to me talking to the gentleman. He said, everybody behind you, I have to deal with all of those people behind you before I could raise your tickets. So just pay me. This is the policy. And I want to deal with other companies and this just we policy. And I want to talk about that tonight. Like the banks. Just pay me the $350 and at some point during the day, you'll get your phone back. I turned to the line and I said, I asked him, are there other outlets like this in this mall that collects money for people's bills? He said, yes, there are 2 others. Tell me where they were. So I turned around to the line and I said, apologies, good day. But I am dealing with an issue where B-Mobile is stealing money from me or attempting to steal money from me. And I need to resolve that theft. And what it is that they've cut my phone for charges that don't exist on my phone. And so I apologize for the delay, that I am not moving from here till it is resolved. And I want to let you all know that there are 2 other places in the mall that you can go and pay a bill. And almost everybody in the line had the same problem. And everybody in the line found their voices. And they got outraged. Some people were there. Mr. Alexander, and obviously some of them knew me. Mr. Alexander, look at this. I had to go and find these payments that I made. Look at this elderly chap. I had to go and find these payments because they tell me I didn't pay, but I know I pay, so I come to show them I pay. They cut my phone bill. This young Syrian girl, she's there saying, my mother right now trying to get printouts from my bank to prove that I pay because they cutting everybody. And this is a nickel and dime. So the entire line, they have this old white woman and she's there with a manila envelope of stuff. She's talking about her husband who's sitting outside, who Alzheimer's set in. She said she wrote B-Mobile and told them he could no longer use the phone, cancel his account, and she was done and done. She said for 16 months they billed the man. For 16 months they billed the man and threatening them with collections. She said it is only when she engaged an attorney that B-Mobile and TSTT stopped. So I'm listening to all of these people in this line who in Trinidad and Tobago, you know us and our false pride and our shame. We got stand up in that line and try and whisper to the gentleman, and if it's not working out in our favor, we might pay the bill and take the hit rather than make noise. Not this nigger. I make a noise for my money. And I want to know how this became this. And everybody else in that line behind this nigger find their voice. So now B-Mobile in an uproar. Everybody in the line, and the line stretched into West Mall. So all of those people now talking to one another and start to talk about all the other ways we getting robbed. Mr. Gentleman, who my back is turned to him, hands me a piece of paper, which is a receipt, paid in full. Your phone is connected, sir. I said, what about all the tickets and the raising and the waiting and the policy and the plans? Don't study it. $250. I had to hand the man $250 and my account sort and settle and I could go my way. Why? This nigger voice too big. And again, I go into the bank this week here. Now, I want to share my business a little bit. Last week, I deposited a check in my account Tuesday, 12 o'clock. And the bank, it is a Republic Bank check into Scotia. They are 100 feet from each other. The issuing Republic Bank and the issuing Scotia Bank. And I asked if they could release the funds because I have workers to pay. They said they would try. And all through the week, nothing. Right up until Friday, nothing. And I had this one supplier that really trying to get paid. And he behind me, that because the deposit I paid him on a job he doing, so he behind me to collect his money. So I in the bank every day trying to free up this money to pay this man. They helped me at all. Friday reached now, and to me, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But they tell me it don't work so. It's 4 working days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. I go back Monday at 2 o'clock. This Monday, before Diwali. This Monday here. I go back at 2 o'clock. And so now I have deposited it last week, Tuesday, at 12 o'clock. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. And she said to me then, no, it's midnight to midnight. I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago something. See when that nigga trip and mash up that gate? The people in this country, now I have opportunities. I have alternatives. I could be cool. They have people in this country at fuck it, you know. That's where they reach. They at fuck it. They had one more thing. One more thing. And you see that man who jumped out the van? Michael Patrick Aboud, arguing with me on my post on Angry Nation and saying, two wrong to make a right. The man had no reason to mash up the people gate. That gate cost $15,000. I said, brother, it is an obstacle in a public road. The man moved the obstacle. Story done. Who is the Polony? I am hearing a name Polony again. All of a sudden, Polony everywhere. I hear a name Polony again. Polony. If it's Polony, now put that gate. All in trouble. But I'm telling Trinidad and Tobago again, we need to stand together and take our power back. The police service arrested a vendor in Chaguanas, Pamela Mitchell, and laid 5 charges against her for obstructing the sidewalk, selling newspapers, dynamite, and PTSD tickets. But I have written to everybody, including the Commissioner of Police, asking that the issue of Kiss Baking Company be dealt with. Today I talking to a senior attorney. He said, Phil, be careful with the issue of the Kiss Baking thing, because you have to remember, they have these people that making money, selling the bread on the side of the road. I say they are co-conspirators in crime. And if we decide that this crime, because it's providing employment, is okay, then stop burning down the marijuana fields, because they're providing employment for farmers, harvesters, watchmen, and pushers. That is employment too. So we have to decide, are we a law-abiding, lawful nation or a criminal country? He said, yeah, but people ain't going to see it that way. I say, no, people have to see it. Kiss Baking Company setting up those vendors outside authentic bakeries or within 100 feet of authentic entrepreneurs. And Kiss Baking Company is engaged in something called guerrilla marketing. And they're just trying to shut every other vendor down. That's what they're trying to do. Shut every bakery, every other bakery. They want to reduce Trinidad to Kiss and Linda's. Again, Linda's. Linda's owned by some Chinese people for 500 years, about 10 branch. Linda's get bought by the 1%, and it's branch after branch after branch. It's a massive organization all of a sudden. I want to know how it is we're living in a country where some people have access to credit and finance to build their business and other people do not. Where is that money coming from? This country, I stand for that guy who opened that gate. Because what was his choices? Call the police. The people in Couva who house burned down because Andre Abraham and Fire One Fireworks could continue to import an illegal substance. Fireworks is illegal to own. It is illegal to sell. It is illegal to discharge. And Andre Abraham and Fire One Fireworks could continue to do this because they're who they are. And this is an insanity that this is what our country has come to. And kill them dead. The 1% vex with this nigger. Because you see, they know, when I talk about Azar, father, and my grandmother, brother and sister, Sabga is my cousin. When this nigger talk, he talking from fact and exposing that there are people in this society that don't give a fly's fart in a hurricane about what happened to you and yours, as long as they get to eat more, as long as they get to build their nest more. You see this nickel and dime bullshit? I want to encourage Trinbagonians to not be impatient with the person who stands up. Support that person. Support the person in Massey stores who comes back and talks about how it is that you all routinely sell me 6 apples in a plastic wrapped Styrotex tray, and when I open it, 2 of them rotten or damaged, face down, with the rotten and the damage down on the Styrotex. How do you all do that? How do you all sleep at night? It can be accidental. This looking too deliberate. Massy stores, Massy says not them. They're buying from Hadco. Is Hadco packaging fruit rotten face down on Styrotex to sell to people apples that are landing here for 75 cents to sell to you for $9.99? The country is being fed upon. The people, now me and my senior attorney talking today, and he's saying, Phil, the problem with your message is the average person, as angry as they are, can't comprehend. They cannot understand that this reality that you are giving to them is true. That this is being deliberately done. It's hard to accept that you live in a country where the Ministry of Education gives 2 different types of education, prestige and also rank. I was given some arithmetic today. He said Gary Griffith is going to fail, not because Gary not good, Gary's great, but Gary cannot operate in this country the way politics governs this country, because there are 9,000 police. He used that number. I heard 6,000. But if it's 9,000, he said there are 9,000 police now, but the country gets 9,000 new bandits every year. I said, how you get that number? He said the education system tells us that 20,000 children pass SEA common entrance every year. Of those 20,000, 3,000 go on to big passes and tertiary education. 6,000 go on to passes and a job somewhere. He said about 4,000 end up in 2 to 4,000 end up in KFC, Amalgamated Security, and all them little company and minimum wage. He said, and the rest, 7,000 to 9,000 people, fail out of the system, and there is nothing for them to do. There is nothing for them to do. So they have one choice: prostitute themselves for 10 days or turn to a life of sure crime. Because man must eat. So that our society, he said last night, your video, talk about we spending $20 billion on crime management. Because the society is creating 9,000 criminals a year to manage. And when you look at those numbers, because arithmetic don't lie, Albert Einstein told the world that. He said, you can argue anything but numbers. Numbers do not lie. When you look at those numbers, that 7,000 to 9,000 people in this country fail to the point you need 3 or 4 passes to get into KFC, to pack a dinner box. And KFC is bottom rung. That is KFC and security guard is the bottom rung. There are people in Trinidad and Tobago that calls security guards a bandit with a baton, because you're literally paying people dog money to put their lives on the line and defend your property, which I never understood before. Because I mean, after Annan food basket or whatever, when that security guard just get killed just so, if people still showing up for work as security guards, I can't help you, brother. But I would have go and hunt iguana. Paul Nahus show us you could legally hunt an iguana and stew it up and cook it and eat it. One, don't buy, don't sell, just you eat. And I will go in the bush and dig cassava like the Prime Minister say, and stew marijuana rather than stand up in anybody's supermarket to take bullet for minimum wage. True talk. Plain talk, true talk. Because where we are now as a nation is deliberate. And the numbers now that are coming out. I pass one Woodbrook Place today. And I think about one Woodbrook Place, and I think about Angostura, and I think about Dupree, and I think about Clico and CL Financial, and I think about the PNM and the UNC, and I think about Faris Arawi and Mervyn Assam, and I think about all of these people involved, and I think about Kamla Prasad Bisesa and Patrick Manning, and I think about Keith Rowley and Rudal Mulilal, and all the bullshit and all the stunt, but I think about $25 billion was taken out of the treasury ostensibly to save the nation from a company that was going to fail, that was too big to fail. And yet, it's failed. All we've done is taken public funds, paid to the people who destroyed Clico, who raided it, and then, over time, sold back, leased back, or rented back the same company, the same assets, to the same people and their friends. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. The Terence Barrett that is sitting on chairman of the Angostura, that name is being riddled. But I told you all when Peter George Jr. jumped on the Angostura boycott bandwagon, I told you all, I will find that video last year. I said, Angostura in play. They come in for Angostura. This is how you do it. Dirty it. Ruin it, reduce it, rescue it. And this is how they play it. And when Peter George Jr. jump out himself and say his place chutters, not selling Angostura products and they boycotting it as Angostura in play. Now they're eating it up. Inside Angostura, the management team, the board of directors, all of them. And a whistleblower, God bless your soul, let us know what is going on. Now, is there anybody in Trinidad and Tobago, as it is set up now, that can investigate, charge, and bring to justice? No, because Keith Rowley still has not been charged. When Keith Rowley is charged and when he is investigated and taken before court, because he is Prime Minister of a dot in the ocean, Keith Rowley has all of the authority of a mosquito on a rainy night. So we playing games in Trinidad and Tobago, respect the office, kiss my ass. If the person who holding the office disrespecting the office, it is not my job to respect it for him. Him first. He getting paid to do that. And if he disrespecting it, I will call that son of a bitch out. And Keith Rowley and AV Oil should be on the front page every day, not through macaque. They have a police complaints authority, police complaints division, and professional services division, and a police service commission. Police commissioner. 5 offices set up to deal with true macaque. That is my work. My work is to ask, where is the investigation into Keith Rowley? My work is to ask, where is the investigation into Polony and whoever else take it upon themselves to put a gate and block a public road? What was the message sent in Bayshore? The message sent in Bayshore, you want to hear me say, you want to hear it from this nigga? The message sent in Bayshore is, if you don't belong here, don't pass through here. Don't pass through here. And that is madness. Because we are breaking the society, and the people hiding behind the gate in Bayshore and Shorelands, they might be safer longer than the rest of us. Because when the rest of the population say, so all your cream skin, caramel latte, don't care about we, pink skin think they're better than we, when the society start to fall apart, you think Nazim Bash and Keith Rowley riding to your rescue? The game that is being played is divide and conquer. Bayshore needs to be made an example of. The person who erected that illegal gate needs to be named and shamed. It's real fast to find out everybody, child father, when it's people in Laventille and Morva. I want to know who put up that gate. who it is, and all you don't come, Phil, don't call me name, eh? You know how it is in this country. Everybody want to talk so. I tell people, I should have named this party behind the scenes. We have 1 million members already. Phil, I will you know, but I'm behind the scenes. Because everybody afraid. They're afraid of advantage, and they're afraid that they lose out when food passing. No, and you was with Christ. Peter had to deny him. Peter had to deny Christ so that he could have continued to eat food till the cock crow and he remember. This is Trinidad and Tobago. Open your Bible, open your Quran, open your Gita, open your mind. Look around. Look around and ask yourself, how is it possible that a country this wealthy could have people living in such desperate poverty? Ask yourself, if the DPP could jump in the case with a judge who is charged for drunk driving and end the case, as is his right, why doesn't the same DPP open every case of everybody who is in the remand yard right now, who can't afford bail, who can't afford a lawyer, who's stuck in a system, who case not calling, and who have spent more time behind bars than they would have if upon arrest they had pled guilty and got the maximum. They're already there longer than that. They're already there longer than that. And you're living in a country where people are still able to sue them. That ain't cheap. Suing them ain't cheap. There is none of that. The things that you think that exist to secure and protect you when you run into the shit. As long as I get in the 6 apple from Massey, fire truck Philip. But when you see you reach home, after you spend your hard $30 for them 6 apple, and you have 6 people in the family and only 4 apple good, you want to cuss. Or they just call me on the phone. Where Philip Alexander? Call me on the phone. Light this one up for me, like IST and Tech. My job is light up. Or you hear my name, I'm not Tanyuk. My job is not to light up people. Your job is to join with me so that together we can expose all of the things that are wrong in society. Like the son of the lawyer who is alleged to have knocked down and killed somebody that didn't make media. That the media operative was asked to give back footage. That kind of bacchanal. In Trinidad and Tobago. Insanity. A government that fronted the shutdown of the economic engine of the country and handed it to friends and financiers. It's like Gillette and the Gillette Group when Pandey was in office, and Pandey put Lindsay in the cabinet as the logjam minister. His job is to find the log jams and move it. It sounds so sensible. And then Ramesh pulled on the government, and you find out that Lindsay and the Gillette Group was trying to give themselves the bandwidth so that every time a phone call was made, Lindsay Gillette and his company would have made money. You see, you can't turn your eye in this country because there is no office of state for you to say, hey! And you know what? It's too easy for them same people to call out others and their wrongdoing. This is a criminal country because the people on the bottom have seen the people on the top rise to high heights on criminality. The people at the bottom who have seen and assisted you in all of your corruption, they saw you play and they see you move from Woodbrook to Westmoreland to Fairways to owning 500 houses. And they see that happen in 20 years and they can't figure out how you do that selling cloth. Or running a restaurant on Arapita Avenue that nobody don't see, nobody go inside there. And again, this nigga, my job is not just to bust these marks. My job is to inform, educate, and empower. Your job is to stand up. Because this nigga and my voice won't be here for all the time. I might be like the TV host who just get the contract to fix all the police cars and go on quiet because money flowing. That could happen. Maybe, maybe not, because I'm a man of integrity. But the truth of the matter is that if we don't stand together, we're going nowhere. We're going nowhere. It is in motion because you allow it. It is when I told Trinidad and Tobago and exposed Peter George and his bullshit, which is we are 5,000 but we are the most powerful. And I told Trinidad and Tobago that that power is built on the labor and the consumption of all his workers and all his customers. And if all of them said tomorrow, we take back that power, you're gone back selling cloth by everybody nanny and tanty in Chaguanas and Canopia to pay a mortgage for your big house. End. But we can't continue like this, barking at small thing when the big thing that causing the small thing happening. I am the one that asks, when I see them little black boy with the AR-15, I ask where the gun come from, because that stunter can't import gun. He don't have the means, the ends to do that. He can't. He cannot. I just saw my partner, God Christopher, and I'm calling out Stefan Rees again. There are voices in this country that need to come together and talk. Keep talking. Don't stop talking. People need to wake up to the reality of this country. People need to wake up to the reality of Trinidad and Tobago. You cannot have Kamala Persad-Bissessar talking like she is some bastion of morality and integrity. When she came into office, she had a little financier who bouncing check all over Trinidad, renting car in Woodbrook. Now is the biggest contractor in town, importing Rolex and flying man into the country with the Rolex. Can't continue so. Kamala cannot sell herself as an option. And people are telling me the UNC hate you more than anybody because the UNC losing their following to you. Because the educated people of East Indian descent leaving the UNC in droves. And you know what? That was overdue to happen. People just needed a good option. Winston Dukaran was never that. Winston Dukaran and Gillian Lucky and the rest of that crew set up their own stunt box. They wanted to take Manning power. They didn't want to do anything about it. They didn't want to change it. Robert Amaro sent out a petition about referendum. How long we talking referendum? How long we talking recall? How long we talking campaign finance legislation? How long we talking banking regulation, financial sector regulation? How long we talking those things? You see, the PNM and the UNC thieving the small fruit. We got tax the water bottle, deal with the banks. The government could change the way this country is run just by bringing financial regulation. Faris telling the country that the nation could fall apart over this tax amendment bill. Miss me with that bullshit. All of the nation will fall apart threats. You like the boy who cry wolf. Everything. Oh God, the nation will fall apart if we don't pass this law. I'm fed up with them and their nonsense. Trinidad is not going to fall apart. Falling apart is not an option. We are already apart. We had 451 murders to date. We have 54 days to go in the year. We done fall apart. There are no more apart to go. Maybe the 1% have a chance of finding out how catchers feel if some things don't get put in place. This is a nation where everybody angry. And the only time people not angry is when they're drunk and high. They're angry. And they're rightfully angry. Mr. Gentleman with the gate, driving through a public road, bounce up an obstacle and get out his car and move it. And people want to talk about him. That gentleman understood his rights as a citizen in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And that as high up Rowley think he is now, all the ass that he had to kiss to go up, You had a case to come right back down. Look at Kamla and Munilal and Ram Logan and all of them who used to play. They part in traffic to go where they need to go. Watch them. Pour me one. Begging for you to give them some attention. Already done. It is time. I am not saying it is going to be an overnight. But I am telling you, like the Chinese say, and the Chinese is the best example to use, because the Chinese model working. China come from a laughing stock in the world to the most powerful nation on the planet. The Chinese model is a long game. Look at India, 1.3 billion, 700 million middle class people. They've copied that, play the long game. You win the short game. You win the short game. You win the battle. My focus is the war. My focus is the war. We need, as a people, to say, we are voting into office a government that says poverty will be outlawed in Trinidad and Tobago. That the state will declare war on poverty. That illiteracy, functional and natural illiteracy, will be outlawed. That the state will declare war on illiteracy. That corruption will be outlawed. That the state will declare war on white-collar criminality. When we elect to office a government that understands that the function and purpose and reason for government is the well-being of all the citizens, is when we will start to have a government that respects your tap in your house. No matter how humble, you're getting a bill every month, you should get water out your tap every time you turn it. That you should have a government that understands that your granny and your tanty, no matter how you're catching your ass, no matter if she have on 2 different color slipper, when she reaches the general hospital, it's good evening, ma'am. How can I attend to you? Are you comfortable? We need that respect from the bottom up. You can't live in a country where shiny shoes and fancy car is the measure of respect in this nation, when 99% of them who buy their fancy shoes and their shiny car buy it on criminality, corruption, and cocaine dollars. We are in an upside down, inside out, twisted land, and we are not going to fix it as long as we have false pride and shame. When you go to B Mobile, ask them, explain that. Are you what, brother? Explain that. Explain it. When the people in the line in the bank all start to stop being so quiet, so subdued. Don't look at me, look at him, look at she, look at that. Because we have false pride and shame, and we're going up there and we're talking quiet. But I had $24 in this account last week. Where it gone? What you mean by fees? I didn't sign for that. All right, okay. Take my money. Thief it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because if B Mobile had gotten away with that $1,000 that they tried to steal from me, from 10,000 people, $10 million. Just so. Come, doggy. Come eat. Look now, man. You ain't get all that now, man. Emily Elias tell the nation, we above the law. We don't answer to nobody. I could take 155 million state dollars, give it to my friends in Massey Communication, and make sure I benefit through my shareholding and my family, and nobody be brought to justice. Nothing like a justice department, nothing like an investigation, nothing. That's why that man, they can't mash up that gate. And don't put God out of the thoughts and stop him, you know. People vex, and they have a right to be vexed. You're telling them the rich because they work hard, and the people who do all the hard work for them sons of bitches to get rich know you lie. They know your lie is them run the pirogue down out to the ship to pick up the package and tow it in behind the boat and bring it and put it inside the ambulance and take it down the road to hand it to the Spanish. It's them ride the bicycle out of Shagaramas with the cocaine in the backpack. It's them do it. It's them bring the plywood off the shipment and open it up and bring out the US dollars for you. You ain't do it yourself. They saw that it wasn't hard work. They know that people in this country, their hands so sweet, their food so good, and they can't keep their doors open. They can't keep the doors open. They can't pay the bills. They can't pay the rent. The bank can't give them a chance. They can't get an overdraft. If they write a check on the wrong day, it bounces. But there are people who open a branch a month for 10 years. This is an upside down, inside out, broken country because the people have allowed it to be so. False pride and shame. Stop that. Stop that. Own your suffering. Look what I just wear. I wear this deliberately. Look what I just wear. You ever see me wearing jewelry? You ever see that on me? I don't play this game. I'm not in the Beamer game. I'm not in the spinning rims game. I don't have a bling or a brand. Not one. Stop that. Stop it. Stop the false pride, the ego, and the shame. Start embracing your neighbors. Let your neighbor embrace you. I'm telling you all again, they have no fanciness in a KFC boxer dead. Go by the man who's selling the barbecue on the corner. Go by him. Go by the woman who's selling the Creole food. Go there. Because when your money's small, they say, thanks, I can catch you next time. You can't say that. Try it in KFC. Take my word for it. KFC, I hear every Friday night after we drink, all you're seeing me. Let me take this dinner box till next week now. Give me a trust week. Try it. Try it. Try it and see. Go in Massy stores. Go in JTA. Go in True Value and say, hey, I need a little trust week. The small man, the small businessman, that is where you're going to get the support from who you support. And it is time you stop playing big pride. Stop playing too much shame. Stop trying to impress people you cannot impress. They bad talking you anyway, regardless of the color of your shoes. You can be wearing a Batas or a Pradas. It doesn't matter. If they don't like you, they don't like you no matter what. You will never hear somebody say, I ain't like he, no, but I like his shoes. That shit don't fly. And I tell you all plain, you see how I talk? I don't bring no comforting lies for you. My partner, Michael Aboud, can't be happy with me tonight. You know who I respect? I want to say this. A fellow named Ross Milne. Ross Milne used to own a place called Roscoe. Ross Milne walked up to me on Arapita Avenue one night. He said, you know me? I said, no. He said, my name is Ross Milne. I said, okay. I am the owner of Roscoe's. That rang a bell. Because I made Roscoe's fart. Because the one time I went to Roscoe's on a side street in Woodbrook and stood up on the back porch and listened to the beautiful music, sipping a drink, I looked at 3 bedrooms. And I said, this can't be right. This can't be right. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. These people have work tomorrow. These people, children, have school tomorrow. And no matter what Roscoe's is trying to do here, this is not right. And I real gave Roscoe's thunder until Roscoe's had to eventually renovate and they fight up and they closed down. Ross Milne told me, I don't like what you do, man, but I understand why you do it. And he shake my hand. Now he opened a restaurant down in Chagaramas. I am yet to get there, but I promise to go. Just to give that man some support. Just because he understood that at some point, all the raindrops have to see their responsibility in the national flood. All of us. It is we, by our choices, by what we do, by what we allow to happen, by what we turn our back on, by what we put our face to. We make this country, for better or worse, what it is by our decisions, by our choices, by our actions and our inaction. Somebody posted the other day, you're not into politics, no problem, but your boss is, the company you work for is, your insurance company is, the banks are, they're all into politics and they're making sure that they get their views represented politically to your disadvantage. And you, who have the largest number, are silent, governed by people who measure in a minority, have more authority over you than you do, because you're not into politics. I want a nation where people ready to write on the arm, apolitical. Politics is the solution to every problem in Trinidad and Tobago. Not politics as usual. Not racist, corruption, financier, eat a food, take a watch, hold a jersey, look at $500, stunt with we for a day. Politics. Politics that for the past 2 decades, this is what I have been doing. And many like me who have joined the Progressive Empowerment Party. Politics that was built on the Jericho Project that is 25 years old. The Jericho Project that has been helping the orphans, the disabled, and the homeless for 25 years. 3 demographics that could never repay us, could never vote for us, could never give us anything back. If you want to measure national service, measure politics that solve national problems, that was involved in the Children's Bill, the Dangerous Dog Act, and solve traffic problems in locations throughout this country, that got roads paved and lights for people. Follow and support the politics that have been standing with the average person for decades for nothing. Now that it is a Progressive Empowerment Party, it has a track record. I watched Jack Warner trot a woman up on stage with a wheelchair or something that he donated. And somebody called me and they say, if wheelchair donation is what it takes to get elected, you could win all 41 seats. People don't know. People don't know the kind of things that we help. We've been to places in the squatter community in Valencia, me and my son and the family and the Jericho Project, and rebuild communities, build homes for people with our hands, with our begging, undercover, underlow, our members, North Coast. We go in the bush and find them. There are people who say, for all this stunt that the PNM and the UNC do for the flood, it is Progressive Empowerment Party that come in the back street and the side street with no camera, that find way, that work with the 4x4 community to brave the floods that the army and the police couldn't, that come and put water and supplies in the house. People see and remember that. It is time to stop the separationist ideology that makes you believe that once the man in power look like you, you win. That is not a win. If the man in power not serving you, you lost. If the man in power, the woman in power don't understand that you call the shots and that you are the most important person in the whole political food chain, of what value is the system? Of what value? Why vote somebody into office to fire somebody who in office and your circumstances have not changed? Or worse, you get an extra $20, but the cost of living gone up 40. How have you won? How? How did you win when it is people that look like you and sound like you that dying in the streets, that getting arrested, that catching the ass to get money to open a store or a branch and to move up? And to move up from packing dinner box for KFC. How? How are you winning? How is that a victory? Why do I keep singling out KFC? Because KFC is one step away from not being food. It is bad for you. It is dripping in MSG and fried oil, recycled oil. It is an abomination. There is no calorie content. It is nutrient deficient. You're literally eating plastic. So that's why I keep singling out KFC. Why do I single out security guards? The fact that we have 10,000 security guards in a country of 1.4 million people, that means a percentage of the population are security guards. That you could measure that says we're failing. On any index that matters, a security guard job is not a start in life. A security guard job is not a career. Nobody wakes up and says, when my child grow up, he or she will be a guard. That's nobody's dream. And we have a system that is designed for a large portion of our people to fail. And they have no choice but to be bandits or tool battle. And we need to wake up to our responsibility to each other. Forget me. I hope and I pray all the gods, old and new, that somebody better than me, more committed than me, brighter than me, more capable, more driven, could stand up so I could put my support behind that person because I don't want the work. To be honest with you, I don't want no work. I reach a stage in my life where I'm enjoying my pre-retirement and I cool. There's nothing more that I need. And I am constantly happy. I am awash in love and big dreams. I have done all that I wanted to do. I have 4 unpublished books that I want to finish and publish them. I am happy in my existence. I don't need nobody else's name on my clothes to make me feel special. I'm good. And I would like to give back to my nation. I always said that the best way to live is the first half of your life, enjoy it. And the second half, work to make sure that the country you leave behind is better than the one you got. Imagine if everybody, sitting down in a Diwali dinner last night, talking to, she could be my pundit. I said to her, you know, Hindu religion is built on the premise that my blessings come from giving. I live that. I have lived that for the longest time. People can tell you, if I end up with a watch on my hand and somebody like it more than me, I give it away. And I don't boast, and this is no I and I. Forget me. I don't want no job, no contract, no recognition. I don't want no statue. I want no national award. I want, when this done, forget my name. If I do it right, if I do it well and make a difference, make life better for people and go off into the sunset on my own. I watched when Taj Mahal Hossain died. You may not know the name, but Taj Mahal Hossain is one of the most prolific jurists in this country. Wrote the Constitution that other people got credit for. Set up Express and Flavor Right and a lot of these companies behind the scenes. Taj Mahal Hossain. When he died, people wanted to trip over themselves and stand and pose near that coffin. And the family said it was his last wish that he be interred only with his family. And that was it. Humility is the best gift you could give in public life. Humility. Take mine. Imagine living in a country where you are trying to turn out of a street and the Prime Minister's motorcade stops to let you out. Imagine that country. Imagine a country where the president stops and lets you out. You go ahead of me. Your existence pays my salary. You're important. Good day, sir. Be on your way. Imagine that country. And to the Hindus in society who missed the message of Diwali, let's get it back. I remember when Gandhi said that, he said of Christians, if Christians practice the teachings of their Christ, there would not be one Hindu left in all of India. Everybody would convert. We have all of the messages, we have all of the knowledge, and yet, for some reason, insecurity and ego and greed, my belly full, my hand full, my plate full, my fridge full, and I'm thinking about how to get more. The better country that we want starts and ends with us. When Bayshore, the people who live in Bayshore live in gated communities inside Bayshore. They didn't need to make all of Bayshore into a gated community. They are living in gated communities inside Bayshore. Inside those gated communities, their walls are tall, and their walls are topped with razor wire and broken glass, and electric fence, and burglar proofing, and burglar alarm, and bodyguard. And none of that has them safe. None of it. You need to close the road too. What's the next step? What's the next step? Bayshore, what's the next step? We have lost the plot as a nation. We are not going to get it back making the same mistakes. You cannot solve a problem operating at the same mindset you were operating at when you created it. You cannot. You have to change your worldview. You have to say, I don't want taller walls. I want a longer table. Whoever wrote that, you have my greatest respect. Imagine this country if every creed and race tried to help each other find an equal place. Imagine that. Imagine this country where jobs were the lowest man. I remember when Peter Charles, I was standing up in biofitness, and Peter Charles watched me talking to Peter Charles, and you see it became a meme on Facebook after, and I laughed when I saw it, because Sean Hardy walked past, stopped, shake my hand, and right after him was the janitor, the fellow who just mop the gym when we training, and he stopped, he lined with us, talked a little politics with us, and he said, you see that gift, don't ever lose that. That you could talk with the owner and the cleaner and be normal with both. He said, don't ever lose that. I saw on Facebook, but I learned that from James Allen in As a Man Thinketh. He said, no man could ever rise higher than his own vision of himself. So I thought for a long time, what is my vision for myself? What do I want to be? And I decided I want to be a good man. That's what I want. Forget the world and all the separations and all the divisions and all the nonsense. I want to be a good man. I want everybody that deals with me. I want my workers, my employees, my contractors, my family, my friends. I want everybody to think, you know what? He's a good man. I could be fucked up, be a real asshole, but I'm a good man. And I know that. I make sure in every circumstance and situation, I give more than I take. I want to make sure that I am open to the voices of the voiceless, that I use whatever power I have to the benefit of the greater good. Because imagine this country if that was everybody's dogma. Imagine this country if everybody wanted to help more people, compete with each other, compete with us. I loved when organizations were being formed. I see Junior Sammy formed one for a while, 124, 421 or some shit. That was in San Fernando, copying the Jericho Project, lockstep. If we helping the homeless, they helping the homeless. If we feeding the orphans, they feeding the orphans. No problem. Lockstep. And I used to say, because members of the Jericho Project used to get upset, because they used to copy us. And I said, hey, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but more importantly, imitation at this level means a greater amount of people getting helped. Chalk that up to your success too. We need to be a country where the homeless in this country know our name. I like that. I like that they know. When I go down there, when I go down Riverside Plaza and they're there with their nothingness, and they say, Mr. Philip, I know when you get into office, you're fixing me right, you know. A country this wealthy, producing orphans by the thousands, homeless by the thousands. This country, our disabled, have seen boom come and boom go, and not one government of note, of rote, of sense has thought to write into law all public service jobs that are seated jobs shall be offered to the disabled, those confined to wheelchairs first. That is the kind of special service interest that you need. Because these people have a disadvantage. And if the power of state doesn't help those with a disadvantage first, what's the point of the power? What's the point of it? How do we sleep at night knowing that we could adjust our air conditioners with remote controls, and there are homeless people in this country? I watched yesterday driving, when this rain was happening, I drive up into Maraval to get lunch. And I watched the homeless man on the corner of Rapsy Street standing up with his collar up, braving the rain. There is nowhere for him to shelter. He is irrelevant in a country where he is a stakeholder, a shareholder, is entitled to a share of the nation's wealth. His well-being is the function and purpose and responsibility of Keith Rowley and every other stunting jackass in public service. But we don't get that yet. The day we realize that that homeless man and everybody that we could consider lower than him is the measure. If they don't fall, we all safe. You can't be safe. If you live in a country where people could be that badly off, a country this wealthy, think about it. I remember, and this is the last thing I want to tell you, because it had touched a chord with me. The show, an episode of Law and Order, this guy who had become the lead actor in The Sopranos, he had gotten a bit part in Law and Order, and he was a homeless man. Go and search for the show. The acting in that won an Emmy Award. The man was brilliant. He killed a man over an orange. Over an orange. And when they finally got him, and he killed the man because the man wouldn't share his orange with him, and he was sharing everything with that man, and he was hungry. And he was explaining on the stand how he had a family, and he had a home, and he had a business, and that a member of his family got sick, and that the medical costs sorry about that, sorry to those who got bumped off. In that episode, he was speaking about how he lost everything, a member of his family. I can't remember who it was. There was an illness or something, and he lost everything. And the way he said, I cannot believe, I can't explain how I ended up here. And when I was a little boy, and the first time I saw a vagrant, and I pointed it out to my father said something to me that stuck in my head. He said, there go I, but for the grace of God. That's my fate. I just draw a better card. And that stuck with me. Me, I guess, is always a lecture. But the truth of the matter is, the country is how it is because we allow it to be so. The country that we want, we have the same power to make that a reality. You want a better nation? Stand up for that. Stand up for right. Stand up for truth. Stand up for justice. Stand up for equality. Stand up for equity. Stand up for everybody who cannot stand. Stand up for everybody else. Stand up. This Saturday at noon, today is Wednesday, this Saturday at noon at 19 Stanmore Avenue, the Progressive Empowerment Party meets. The PRO of the Progressive Empowerment Party is putting out a letter apologizing for the delays in the membership cards. We're overwhelmed and we're trying to keep on top of it, and we're trying to sign you all up and get the cards out as fast as possible. I was in the meeting. I was told that by the end of November, everybody who signed up prior to October 31st will get their cards, and that we're trying to get that 1 week after sign up, you'll get your card. So have some patience with us. We're trying to keep on top of the volume of people that's signing up. So you will get your card. Know this. Once you are a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, whether or not you have your card or not, all of the benefits, all of the privileges, all of the advantages of being a member of the PEP are already yours. Yeah? The card is just, well, to say, this is us. We are here. Listen, the country that we want, we could have that country. Yeah? We can have that country. Trinidad and Tobago doesn't need to be this bad. We could fix it. We could say it to each other. We could say it to the past, the present, and the future. We could say it to the universe. We want a better nation, and we're going to work to make it so. Yeah? How we doing that? Listen, I make a mess there. We need financial assistance. There are bills that we have to pay, legal bills, office bills, management bills. Pay for the membership cards to print and emboss bills. We need your help. You know we need your help. We outside fighting this fight. Rain, sun, snow, we here. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the most prolific, dynamic, busy political organization in the country. Our team was in San Fernando General Hospital today dealing with issues of the people stuck in that madness. We are building out and putting feet on the ground, gears up and wheels everywhere. Anywhere that there are people in need of representation, Progressive Empowerment Party is present. You want a better country, help us build that. If you could make a donation, and to all those who message me from time to time asking that they would like to make a substantial donation to solve some problems, right now we have some issues that we need to deal with, especially some outstanding legal bills. If you want to help with that, message me directly, message Felicia Holder, message Satish Ramsaran. If you could make a one and done donation, we would appreciate it greatly. Do not put yourself to discomfort. Anything that you could give, that you could help with, we would appreciate greatly. Yeah?
This land is my land and my legacy. All forefathers and foremothers fought vehemently, united so that we stand independently. Celebrating our nation's first half century, with a culture so inherently in all our being. And with the way we walk and talk with rhythm and such melody, I salute my country, my Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, my Trinidad and Tobago. Keep my heart full of fire, the roots so bright, dedicated to everything that's right. Keep unity and equality. My Trinity, one heart, one soul, so brave, so bold, building stronger, going together.
I don't want to keep you back too much longer. There is this group in the party called the Upstread. This is like the front line of the PEP. When you become a volunteer and a member, a serving member of the PEP, the first place you get immersed is in that Upstread. And let me tell you, the level of madness. Anyway, love the peppers, but we kind of crazy too. Christmas party is the 15th of December. The drawing of the raffle is supposed to be that day. We have a lot of stuff happening at Juve Band. We working on a Juve Band. If you have carnival experience and you'd like to be a part of that, come and join us. We want to do a nice orange event, keeping it safe around the Savannah, through the back streets, and back to headquarters on Stanmore Avenue. We're launching our Saturday meetings in the north soon. Stay tuned for that. And if you're not a member yet, you can go to peptt.com and sign up. But the best way to do it is come into the office on a Saturday, because you get to meet the team and you get to hear what we're about. You get to talk and you get to join this family that you never knew you was always a part of already. Yeah, a better Trinidad and Tobago is one choice away, one decision away, one vote away. We are one people under one flag already. We're just there for the wrong reasons. We are one people under one flag suffering in the bank. We are one people under one flag being nickel and dimed by B-Mobile and Digicel and Flow and the rest of these organizations. We are one people under one flag dealing with the madness of the potholes and mashing up the shocks and the ends on your car and costing us money. We are one people under one flag living in traffic day and night, every day, coming to work in Port of Spain and dealing with the fallout of 250,000 people having to drive to town to work in government office that could have been decentralized 2 decades ago. We are one people under one flag living in fear. We are one people under one flag living in a nation whose money have no value. Our currency less than toilet paper. We are already one people under one flag. Why we don't put it to work for us? One people under one flag, voting ourselves into prosperity and a better nation. That should be our reality, and it is a possibility. All we have to do is put it together. This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, all are invited. 347-4PEP, peptrinbago@gmail.com, peptt.com, Pep app, PEPAPP, available for free on all the app stores, all the ways that you can contact us. Join Stand Up TNT, the largest political group in Trinidad and Tobago. It's a PEP group. Like the PEP page, you'll get updates there. Philip Edward Alexander has a profile and a fan page. You can like both, and you get all the details and all the updates. And we're working together as one team to make this a reality. It's hard work, but it's joyful suffering. Come and help lighten the load. See you at the office, headquarters, 19 Stanmore Avenue. Those of you who are overseas that watch these videos nightly, I am asking you, if you could, dig deep and send $100 US or more to the party via PayPal. Reach out to Felicia Holler, Maya Khan, Satish Ramsaran, and they will guide you as to how to do it. Those of you who would like to get involved on the ground, in the party, in your community, in your street, in your neighborhood, in your constituency, message Shari Wilson, party organizer, Michelle Davis, her deputy, and any of the other teams. We have hubs being led by Simon Wright in Central, Richard Blaze in the North, Michelle Davis in the South, and Adisa and Satish in the East. You could already join those. Where we're having our greatest difficulty, and it is for me to apologize, having not yet, the party is almost 2 years old, and having not yet put wheels down on the ground in Tobago. A lot of it had to do with the difficulty with the sea bridge and the air bridge and all that drama, because I don't like traffic and I don't like to stand up in line begging for people to get me where I'm trying to go. But Tobago, I have a soft spot. We have a soft spot for you. We want to come over there. But we know that a lot of you, your day-to-day is tied to the THA, and we understand that. And the conversation we have to have is real and is deep and is built on Tobago's vision for Tobago. Let's have that conversation too. But for now, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.